Titan, unfortunately, not able to bring it through. We'll see if they make it in game number 2. So Titan, as we said, they're trying to ascend up the standings. They have one more game. All they need is a single win.
And they will overtake London Conspiracy based on head-to-head record. At the moment, they're one game below London Conspiracy, so Titan sat in 5th position right now.
So again, we see the Neath ban out, something so popular against FNATIC. Zyrhoes opts for Neath almost more than some of the mages, I think.
Well, he's quite happy to run the Neath in the mid lane. It makes a big impact with rotations. You don't have to have Janus, for example, because of that. With this run back here, we could see the same sort of picks and bans, but I'm not 100% certain on that. Will we see anything mix up? I don't know whether... I don't think we'll see Titan allow FNATIC to get 2 guys like Batz and Badgah to be offensive, I feel.
I mean, we'll take a look. There's many gods with leaps and jumps, so I don't really think there's a way to really stop that.
In the Guardian role as well. In the Guardian role for like getting to their backline, such as Badgah is very good for that.
I don't think there's a way to really stop that.
There is. There is. I mean, Blink's a big difference to a Blink cooldown is a lot longer than a belly flop.
Sure.
A and B somersault and a Batz. Well, it's a lot longer than a Blink. So it's a lot shorter than a Blink.
We'll see. I think Blink really accomplishes, especially when you think about the frequency of these team fights that really matter. Same bans coming out from game number 1. FNATIC, not scared of the new Zeus whatsoever. Titan, they have first pick. Last time they picked up a Janus for their mid laner PrettyPriMe, and this time they'll do the same, likely to be Janus, or likely to be PrettyPriMe in the mid lane one more time.
Now will we see FNATIC go the same thing again, Nuwas and Wukong, because they worked out fine for them in the last game. Neither of them had bad games on those gods whatsoever, so why not just do it again?
Nuwa being picked up for FNATIC and Sun Wukong. No surprise here, just Sun Wukong, such a staple of the solo lane.
Now it was Zeus here and I believe Thor were the 2 picks that came out from Titan. So will we see it again?
We'll take a look. Thor definitely worked out. Zeus could be. I don't know. It's hard to say if Zeus worked out or didn't work out. I think he accomplished what he wanted to do.
I agree.
We just saw the Achilles heel of the movement and the rotation ability that you mentioned. So I think this time around it was less about the picks and more about the execution. I think Titan, what they do is they go ahead and they do pick up the same gods that they did last time. I think they reflect on what made Zeus, what was the issue with Zeus, and they change how they play it.
So, complete run back so far. I'm surprised we didn't see Batz just get picked up by FNATIC there, so Titan couldn't look to ban that one away. They may look at banning Bacchus out instead of Ares this time, which is what Titan did last game.
Sure.
They banned away the Ares that time, and Geb was banned out by FNATIC, so far it's a complete difference, but I think Bacchus will get banned here. I don't see them giving Bacchus away this time round.
There it is. Yep, the Badgah is going to be selected. Badgah has been so potent on that support as of late, and of course, like you said, the ability to jump into the backline and stop BroTuZ from doing what he wants on that Zeus.
So now it'll be Ares. They banned Ares. They banned away Ares last game. We'll probably see Ares come out this time round. Batz obviously picked up, which no reason not to when you're looking to get to the backline, which I mentioned last game.
Yeah, the belly flop. It's more so than the ability to get to the backline of the Bacchus. Excuse me, and more so the bounce up, the knock up out of the Zeus, because that for a moment delays the detonate. And the goal of the team fight most of the time when you're playing against the Zeus is to kill him. It's to flash kill him before the detonate goes off. So by putting up the knock up, it just buys you another second or two that you can burst out that character.
Definitely want to see an Ares here from FNATIC. It's a different sort of composition with the Ares though, but it still does the same sort of thing against the Zeus. This time around though, it's not going to be knockups from Bacchus, which will influence and stop him dealing damage. It's going to be burn his beads so that Batz can go all in on him. And if beads is already forced by the Fear No Evil, then the No Escape is going to pull Zeus into a very, very awkward position. They may look for something different though. Sylvanas on the table, I guess that's got a knock up as well. They could blink with that and sustain. But I think I'd like to see Badgah on a little bit something more aggressive.
We're going to see the Chaac. So likely to be a Chaac solo support Sun Wukong, most likely. And of course, you're talking about ways to get to the back line. Well, there's 2 ways. You can go over or you can go under. And Sun Wukong will allow Badgah to go ahead and go to the Ox form and just knock up people. And again, about the knock up. If there's an Ox running underneath your Zeus and he's knocked up in the air, he can't hit that 3. There's no detonate available.
Well, it's also the fact that Chaac is pretty good against Zeus in that 1v1. Take into account the silence in a team fight, big influence. And Chaac's going to be okay with dealing with a little bit of magical damage onto him. If he's going to just go for a Stone of Gaia, he should be fine. And then just run at the Zeus, silence him out, force the beads. Batz ult comes in, Fear No Evil. The game plan, once again from Titan, identical to last game. Let's have the great early game that was fantastic. Have the same early game. This time round, though, protect Zeus a little bit more.
Yeah, so Chaac, starting off with the red potion. Now, I guess the most popular Chaac as of late is Zeus Chaac, who has been built straight damage. We see the boots, the Jotuns, the Transcendence, straight damage. maniaKK followed up with Chaac recently last week and didn't build a straight damage. We did see a Transcendence, but it was after some more traditional defensive builds.
And I think we'll see defense come out from him this game too, especially in this lane. Against Zeus, who's got a lot of burst potential, especially with Thor in the jungle and a Janus rotation and an Athena rotation that could come down too. He'll get a little bit of early defense, and then he'll look to build some damage afterwards.
Yes.
Once again, nothing crazy in the mid lane. Once Prime gets there at a decent time, right Harpy's going to go to Titan here. Respect from FNATIC, they're going to go for the left ones, just because their level 2 fight, not as strong, I feel, than the Janus Thor against as a Hombat and a Noir.
Ataraxia poked out a large amount, and that's one of the big things that Batz is going to be able to bring to this lane, is not just wave clear by way of the Jigu Bang, but also the poke. Magic Cudgel doing a lot of damage, and if you take a look at the build, we see Badgah still building that blue stone. So.
And blue stone in this lane is fine to do as well. Good ricochet coming out from Ataraxia, but he's okay in this lane. He went Transcendent, so with that build, he's got a lot of health potions there, a lot of mana potions. He can sustain for a while, eat a little bit of poke, and not be forced back immediately.
Trying to help out his teammate as far as wave clear is concerned. KanyeLife blows the dash in the shield wall onto the back line of the minions. Mid lane, junglers have met up with their mages. Janus by way of Titan. And on FNATIC, we see the new so the exact same setup from the mages that we saw in game number 1 in game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, mid lane's going to play out relatively the same between these two teams. Zeus didn't do anything wrong last game, neither did Twig for the most part. Obviously, they won the game, so they clearly didn't do too much wrong. However, the early game is going to be like Weather the Storm for them. That could potentially come out from the rotations. Make sure they follow up as quick as they can. And keep an eye out for maniaKK getting that teleport online, because that's when we'll start seeing FNATIC try and swing into action in the game once more.
So much clear coming out from the Janus and the Thor combination. And again, Repikas really not wanting to fight, or gank, I should say, really not willing to fight or leave this mid lane until that ultimate comes out online.
He's also he's not level 5 yet. He's got no jungle available to really look to farm, so he's got to sit around in the mid lane a little bit, as is Twig. They're both here now. Twig left the lane a little bit as well. Good poke onto Zyrhoes though. That's the same rinse repeat of last game, just not as much this time round.
CaptainTwig avoids the Berserker's Barrage. A little bit of dancing and understanding the radius of those abilities coming out from the jungler on FNATIC.
And the whole game plan for FNATIC this time is to do the same thing, but early game not lose so much. They've got to watch out for the early rotations from Titan, respect their mobility, respect their fight in the jungle, because Houyi's rotation early, like I said, his jungle presence is very strong with the ricochets and the suns to isolate people and put a lot of damage out potentially. So make sure you don't give up as much. If you have to give away the left-hand harpies, fine, do so. It's not as bad as giving away, you know, a couple of kills very quickly.
Titan being pushed onto their tower, and not just the solo lane as one would expect, but also the mid lane. Noah and CaptainTwig's Batz really able to push these minions down.
And checking in with solo lane as well, maniaKK's having a very good line against BroTuZ here. He's put the pressure really on him, keeping him pinned under the tower. That red pots don't work. You can see BroTuZ very low on mana here, and maniaKK's the one pushing up this lane time and time again. BroTuZ having a rough time against the Chaac this time round.
Oh yeah, Chaac's just been sitting on his front porch the entire game. I mean, look at the tower. The tower's already down. What is that, 75% it looks
it's
like?
It's good work, and look at BroTuZ's health here as well. He's going to have to base soon. There's minions coming in, so BroTuZ probably not going to get as much gold out of this as he would like to. Harpies have spawned though. Last time we saw this, we did see a mini fight.
Yeah, you can see the difference as far as the gold is concerned.
I'll say that was 1-for-1. I think
300 split.
I think Badgah got one of them on the left-hand side there, actually. So FNATIC coming out with a bit of a win, I want to say, between those Harpy camps. But it's not too much to write home about. It's good work, though.
Right side Harpy's already down. So no look. Both teams really just looking for an opportunity. Last time, it wasn't even that set of mid-Harpies that really caused the fight. We saw First Blood at around 6 minutes. So it was like the second rotation.
It was the second rotation
for those mid-Harpies.
I want to know if Repikas is actually going to hold this buff for BroTuZ getting back, or he's going to take the experience just for himself here. Looks like he's going to take it for himself and make sure he drops it before the rotation for FNATIC could potentially come out. Meanwhile, though, maniaKK does get an experience lead. Because of that, he shared speed and blue. So a little lead once again for maniaKK.
Repikas trying to catch up to CaptainTwig, who's been level 7 for a little bit right now. Repikas just now hitting 6, so ever slightly trailing. Nothing really to hang a hat on, but worth noting. Just superior farming coming out from the jungler on the side of FNATIC. BroTuZ, for the first time in a long time, in about 5 minutes, finds himself able to walk up to the middle of the lane and really just enjoy this freedom, something that Chaac's been denying him for the entirety of this game number 2, and
he's just trying to
last game wasn't very different.
Yeah, he's just going to let the minions just kill each other and just sit there for the golden experience soak. One key though, he went back to base, he got full boots online as well as beads, but the problem is he didn't bring any potions back because he couldn't afford them, I feel. And so he's got to be careful against the Chaac, who's going to be throwing axes all day long. Positioning is going to be key for BroTuZ in this lane now, not to eat too much poke and be forced back again.
Chaac's arrived. And that means BroTuZ is going to have to hang out underneath his tower one more time.
Looking for a pick on Kanye here, who's just gone deep looking for a ward. Has preemptive strikes, he's in a lot of trouble.
KanyeLife being pushed backwards. Damage coming out.
Great
the
pull.
Janus portal
Great
arrived
pull.
just in time. Repikas lands down to really no effect, but the Janus portals. Ultimate at a PrettyPriMe. That's the utility you see out of that mid laner. First blood avoided by a strong play from the Titan mid laner.
And that was good work from Titan, but to be fair, I want to say FNATIC come out on top of that, even though they didn't find first blood. They got rid of Repikas' ult on Thor, they got rid of Janus' ult as well. So with those two ults down, they know they've got a few minutes now where the rotations won't be able to come out from the boys of Titan to help support teams. Keep an eye potentially on BroTuZ in that solo lane. We can see a lot of aggression onto him now, knowing those ults are down. And even mid on Janus.
Janus finding his way back to the mid lane. He'll be there. And jungler and the mid laner for FNATIC will shade over to the right side, waiting for the Harpies. Taunt onto Realzx. Here's damage out of the jungler. 3 people are here. Realzx forced into the air. Immediately comes
really
back
smart,
down.
really smart.
Love that decision. Double tap won't confirm the kill.
So what he did there was the reason he cancelled his ultimate is because most people expect you to fire all 3 shots before you come down. You can hear those shots in the sky. As soon as you hear the 3rd one fired, you follow up with damage immediately.
And even if the shots don't come out, players have an understanding of how long you're going to spend in the air.
It's just it's 6 seconds that you actually spend in the air overall. And it was just wise to come straight back down at the end. A different timing that people weren't used to, so they weren't expecting that.
Exactly. It's just the small variances that keep your opponent guessing. That such a smart play coming out of Realzx, and that ultimately smart play out of Titan last time around with the Janus ultimate barely avoids first blood. Smart play out of the Hunter this time around for FNATIC barely avoids first blood. So both of these teams looking for aggression and their opponents being crafty to find their way out of it.
It's one of those things to talk about as well. Titan and FNATIC, these two faced off in the semi-finals at the World Championships against each other as well, where we saw Titan move on to the finals. FNATIC lost that one that day. Aggression looking for maniaKK here just through the axe. He could be in a bit of trouble.
Stunned out. Beads is strong and a maniac, and he'll be able to just walk away.
Very wise. He didn't
just walk away.
Didn't use ultimate, but he did use the beads. I love the fact that maniaKK invested into beads in this because he knows if the rotations do come, he's going to get double CC'd hard. Beads is going to be important for him to potentially escape damage. Hold that ultimate for damage reduction in case the detonate's coming.
Chaac just so resisted to the ganks, honestly. The beads, they'll be on a long cooldown, so maniaKK will have to be a little more present of mind to really make sure that Thor doesn't come crashing down on him. But in general, Hindu, I mean, Chaac, his self-heal ability is fantastic. The ability to just activate that rain cloud, and not for nothing, the slow was also increased, so it's going to prevent people from really chasing him down.
But it's also that he's got a better ability at chasing other gods down, and when you think about Zeus, well, all he's going to be able to do is walk away. So if you can get that rain on him and just continue pressuring him,
it's a trap.
Beating him down and putting the pressure on. So far, so good, though, for Titan and FNATIC. I mean, the problem is that Titan's not gone after the snowballing lead that they had at the beginning of the last game. But FNATIC, they'll be very happy about this. They're looking for a big pick in mid, and look at that. Fire shots come out.
Just directly into the air goes new Zyrhoes. Here's the ultimate out of Janus, or here's the portal out of Janus, and wants nothing to do with anything that can come through that.
And it was just wise. I mean, FNATIC, I'm very happy with this situation. They're going to be looking for Zeus in the later stages of the game this time, but Titan don't have the same sort of lead they had in Game 1 with this composition they've gone for. This time, they've been held by FNATIC. FNATIC can play this a lot safer, more passive for the most part, and they've made Titan be the ones to try and force something that's not really been there this game.
Left side, FNATIC maybe looking to force things. Realzx finds himself in a little bit of trouble, but he's just
That
pushing
was
forward,
just-
shows the hand. Fear no evil just a little too far to really make things happen.
Oh.
Cuts off the retreat from the hunter, and Ataraxia falls. Fantastic pathing out of the jungler for FNATIC. That's first blood on the board at 9:45.
And look at that, even maniaK rotate over here to support in case he was needed, but he's not, so everything's going to be fine for him as well. He's gone to the mid lane just to make sure everything's fine. Make sure there's no extra pressure coming out from the Janus too.
Can't jump over that maniaK.
But the big key there was CaptainTwig. He had the presence of mind. He threw the monkey. He wanted the bounce onto Ataraxia, but they split nicely this time. So he realized that if he jumped to Athena, he could position the through space and time. Sorry, the Fear no evil at the exact location to force Ataraxia back into Realzx autos.
Exactly. As I said, when CaptainTwig came into the lane, he was too far away for that Fear no evil to make the effect, so he knew he had to teleport. Got the wrong option, but that put him in range. So able to toss Ataraxia directly against the wall.
Beautiful play from FNATIC to find that first blood. And it was all down to Titan's aggression again. You saw them trying to put the aggression on in that lane.
Yep.
Realzx did not even panic for a second. Didn't blink. He went towards Ataraxia when the taunt was coming. Like, all right,
Yep.
I'm going to fight you.
Which actually, to be completely honest with you, that created a situation where CaptainTwig made a fantastic play. If that fantastic play didn't happen, those 2 kills might have gotten away because of the aggression shown by Realzx.
They might have gone away, but one thing to note is that Kanye had used dash and he'd used taunt. So when the aggression turned on to Ataraxia immediately, Kanye couldn't really do much apart from just sit and watch. Because he was like, I'm sorry, bro, I've got nothing else left. I thought we were the aggressors.
I've done it. Here with 1 kill on the board for FNATIC off of CaptainTwig, and I want to talk about that a little bit. CaptainTwig saw a little bit of an unfortunate stutter step towards the beginning of the fall split, and as we got sort of going on, he has definitely picked things up, and has been a large part of why FNATIC saw an upswing in their game presence. Now, I love the pick of Batz on CaptainTwig. I think it works out very well for him. He's able to make individual plays like we just saw, but a lot of the times, those Fear no evils are just able to set up the rest of his team. CaptainTwig has that propensity to really be a role player for the squad.
It's been very useful. It's good to see him back, though, because he's had a couple of games off with Epinari stepping in, but he stepped up nicely. But that pressure onto Realzx was monstrous right there. I think he's going to fall down, though, into those suns, which he's not going to want to do.
Repi just lands right on top of Realzx for the kill with Anvil of Dawn.
But Repi overextended now, a little bit caught out, going to jump to the hammer. Twig though, how's the monkey going to jump on Ataraxia? He's going to leap away. Meanwhile, Repikas forced to the wall, 5 shots coming down, somersault over the back, overhand smash. There's a jingle bang from Badgah to pick up Ataraxia. Badgah still going in and going to use the clouds, and that was important to get Twig out of danger.
Double monkey combo for the double kill in the long lane. FNATIC come up on top of that one.
Good beats.
2-1. Realzx does fall, but those 2 kills are very important. Titaners here. The portal out of... Ooh, that's problem. Why is Twig still here? Why is Twig still here?
Didn't find the damage on that one, but the beat.
Woof.
That was a really good play from Badgah. Badgah played that beautifully. He got the jingle bang off. He immediately went into Ox form to knock up to allow Twig to escape. Used his Sun Cloud, and then when he was trying to escape, he knew when the taunt was coming, so beads it immediately, so he didn't get picked up by the Janus.
Again, CaptainTwig with the hybrid individual team play right there. You get the somersault cloud, or the somersault, just go directly in, right? CaptainTwig going for the individual play, gets the kill by himself, but the jump slows the opponent so that Badgah, can follow up with the magic cudgel for the second kill there. So again, love the pick of Batz on a CaptainTwig. Not only does it empower him, but it also provides a catalyst for the rest of the team to make use of.
FNATIC looking very, very strong right now, and it's a good way for them to end this season as well in this position. They've had a rocky road, ups and downs. They've not been as clean as people would have liked to, and they've dropped games against teams that, let's be honest, on paper you would have been like, it should be an easy 2-0 for FNATIC this, and it wasn't. They've had ups and downs. They've had problems where they couldn't find wins the best way they wanted to.
Even in this series itself, I mean, Titans started off the game.
Yeah, I mean, Titans started off the game very well, but FNATIC played their composition perfectly.
Right.
And then the strength's just grown with FNATIC as time's gone on. I want to know when exactly Epsilon became scrim partners with FNATIC, because it feels like as the season's gone on, FNATIC just look better and better.
Of course.
And it's probably the scrim partnership that they have with Epsilon too.
Possible. Zero's going to get cut out.
Well, you always play better when you play against tougher opposition. The best way to learn is to play against people who are harder than you. That's why League Ranked is pretty good, because if you're Silver and you get matched against Masters, I don't care getting stomped. I'll learn more that way.
Damage in the mid lane, ultimate out of Chaac and the monkey. Zero starts off the fight with a kill off the top. Coming down the mid lane is FNATIC as Titan tries to find a way out. Repikas walks out the left side. Kanye walks out the dead side. And Ataraxia is going to find himself under the tower. And FNATIC not going to push it. So PrettyPriMe and Ataraxia find themselves out. Repikas will find an exit as well. But 2 players die. And FNATIC lose 0. So they'll head directly towards the objective.
We're going to pick up Janus in mid lane potentially here as well. Nice portal away. And I love the pressure for FNATIC on mid lane here while they're still doing Gold Fury.
Double objective.
So Titan have to try and deal with one thing or another. They don't know which one to deal with.
maniaKK already so tanky. The Stone of Gaia. So the Stone of Gaia, let's mouse over that real quick. It's magical protection, but look at the rest of the text on the bottom.
Yep.
2% health of, so it provides 100% HP, as well as 25 HP 5 and some MP 5, who cares. But in addition, you're also regenning 2% of your max health every 5 seconds. So you get health, you get HP 5, and additional health regen.
I just heard you say, who cares about MP5? Don't you dare say that. MP5 in the game of Smite is very, very rare.
Sure, I'm
There's
focused
like
on
3
the
items
health
with
here.
MP5.
Chaac has a heal. You're giving Chaac extra strength. You're giving him a heal, MP5, and percent health per 5.
You should have just said he's got the passive. That's what you should have said. He's got the passive where he just lands autos and gets 3 spells, so he doesn't need MP5.
Sure. My point being with the Chaac is that combining this item with the heal, he's just able to do what we just saw. He walks under a tower, fights somebody, and his health bar is staying the same or going up. That's incredible.
It's more to do with the fact that the targets that he's going to be after and are going to be trying to do the most damage to him is going to be these mages for the most part.
Right.
And 3 mages on the team at the moment. I mean, obviously a Guardian is magical, so that's going to be some damage there too. So he can just walk at them and not worry. Good taunt from Kanye, forcing beats on Zyrhoes, but Twig forcing them back again.
Still being aggressive. CaptainTwig 1-0-4 on the Batz for the game today. Fantastic play out of him.
It's a really one thing to note about Twig's performance today is very important for him, because I think a lot of people after watching the last couple of weeks with Ependary stepping in were like, yo, Ependary played really well. And people were probably like, shouldn't he be main roster potentially?
I mean, Ependary got player of the week.
Exactly, like, shouldn't he be main roster? Left side.
Real's in some trouble. Repikas shows up. Reals goes up. This time for the entirety, waiting for the help. Misses the last shot. But here comes help from the jungler. Not really going to hit much of anything. We'll run along with Reals from the backside, looking for the basics. KanyeLife taking a lot of damage as the Suns fall down to prevent the complete onslaught from FNATIC. Suns are down, so FNATIC able to push on the tower. And one more time, maniaKK showing up in the front of the fight, taking out important targets. KanyeLife going to sit for 30.
And while he pushed on there, you saw what FNATIC did. They just took the tier 2 tower. They can now pressure mid lane as well. Badgah's already pushing that one in. The tier 1 tower very, very low. They've got a new war as well with clay minions, so that's going to be an extra couple of minions to help out as well. Reals won't even need them though. He should be able to bring it down before Repi can even get in a position to try and defend.
Saw this last time from the FNATIC squad. They just took out all the tier 2s last time, then this time attacking the tier 1. So really with a focus on the towers and the map presence.
And Titan running this one back, I didn't have an issue with them running it back. They've just not had the opportunity that they did last time to pick up a few early kills and put the pressure to FNATIC. So it's not worked out as well for them. The first blood as well, they've had to be more reactive than they would have liked to have been. They would have liked to have been more proactive like last game.
Now FNATIC have to recollect, take a back seat. Let's take a look at the golden hand and see where these players should wind up. So everybody has basically already backed, with the exception of the jungler and maniaKK. So we'll see these guys pretty much clear up this wave and then likely back, because FNATIC looking for the next real opportunity here.
And there's not going to be one for a little while. I mean, Gold Fury will be up eventually. The tier 1 towers being down means that they've got to push up very, very deep. They could look for a pick on the right, though.
That's interesting. So CaptainTwig and maniaKK both backed, but something changed their mind, and that's going to be the presence of the team here on the right side. Looking for the tier 2 in the solo lane.
They won't find it here.
The Titan are here, so.
They're trying to keep pressure on to try and look for a rotation through the jungle. Look at their position. They're looking for the speed buff too, but speed buff, a little bit of a cooldown. You can see the reason they think speed buff should be up is because their speed buff has just fallen. So normally the speeds are on the same timer, so they expect it to spawn, so they're trying to hang around that area. Instead, they're going to pressure mid.
4 members from FNATIC here. From the side comes KanyeLife. He's caught out just a little bit. Badgah gets the stun. He's down to half HP, but BroTuZ takes out CaptainTwig immediately. CaptainTwig, unable to really make an impact, dies with his ultimate up. And for Batz, that's a big deal.
Really good jigs from Repikas as well to avoid the snipes from Reals, but FNATIC can still put the pressure on mid lane there. The chain lightning is doing good work from BroTuZ, but it's not enough to push FNATIC off the tower, so they get that tier 2 at the cost of just Twig's life. They're okay with that.
Twig might not be, but the rest of the team certainly is. Itemization coming out of CaptainTwig. We're going to see the winged blade come out, so doesn't want to be slowed.
And the slows are impactful. I mean, Repikas going to have the slow. You've also got the slow in Ataraxia if he does have the crow and the sun. The sun's drop down on your head as well. Zeus too. Totally mid lane. They're still looking to try and make something happen. BroTuZ does have his ultimate still.
Titan trying to turn things around. 4 members of FNATIC here to play defense, and that's enough. Titan won't be able to take that out. So as we approach our 20th minute of game number 2, FNATIC lead by 4 kills, 8,500 gold, and also, not for nothing, 7,700 experience.
Invasion from FNATIC, though they're looking for that red buff, and now maniaK's going to walk up and find some big axe hit onto PrettyPriMe, then he's been forced back. Meanwhile, Fury started, Repikas up in the air, didn't spot it, he was looking for the pick up maniaKK, who silences them all out, and then probably going to be able to jump to that hammer if he needs to. So it's the axe rather, and now Fury, well, it should fall here soon.
Repikas, he gets the Athena ult channel onto him. Knockup sends Athena go in the right side. Fury very low and able to be taken if FNATIC don't put the pedal to the metal here. The suns are dropping. That's going to put the Fury by way. FNATIC still secures it. Fantastic job by FNATIC. Repikas very low. He'll find a death. Reals picks up Repi as BroTuZ falls as well. Jesus. So 2 members dead already for Titan, and FNATIC still pushing the gas. CaptainTwig picks up PrettyPriMe in the back of your screen. Ataraxia and Kanye will be the only 2 members alive. They'll back and head back to base as FNATIC pushes towards the middle.
So fire shots came out there from Zyrhoes, and immediately Reals was in the sky, hit 3 snipes on 3 different targets to help secure the kills. Even secured them himself or help set them up. Now FNATIC can push on and get a Phoenix in mid lane here. This is just going to open the game up even more. Kanye got to try and defend, but he's got to watch himself for the most part here. Luckily he's got Ataraxia with him, but I think this Phoenix should still fall. Just about.
Yeah, Phoenix will fall down, and there's the ultimate that CaptainTwig. FNATIC going to get aggressive here. KanyeLife survives by a hair. Ataraxia, not really the target, so FNATIC will walk away, heading to the right side of the jungle.
And now it's going to be all siege the fire giant. They can pick up the speed buff on the way back, blue buff as well in Titan's jungle, so deny some more experience and gold from them as well, and the mobility factor too. Then look, what's this?
Repikas uses the ultimate along with Athena. Here's the ult out of Chaac. So no real follow-up. PrettyPriMe
trying to push on
well with the ult.
Trying to push on and find a pick here, but I don't know if FNATIC will let them actually get caught out. I mean, everybody's pretty much far enough away to escape. maniaK's the only potential target, but it's a Chaac.
The Chaac with a Stone of Gaia. Just not going to fall anytime soon. I mean, the follow-up item was a Jotun's Wrath, so not quite the impenetrable fortress that we might be accustomed to seeing Chaac as, but still a very powerful and tanky character here.
I think if FNATIC realize how many elements were just used by Titan there, they should start this fire giant immediately, because everything was relatively used there. If they can just look for the pick potentially onto Zeus or Ataraxia, then there's not a whole lot Titan can do in response.
I mean, there's not much Titan can respond with it. That's why I was so surprised to see the ultimate come out of Repikas. But I think right there the communication for Titan was that FNATIC was going to do the fire giant, so prevent them from even getting there.
It's the respawns plus mobility factor, right? So you've got Athena, Thor, they can initially engage through space and time can come out for the follow-up, but it was on the Chaac that they found the pick. And the problem is Chaac, well, he's a very tanky target and has the ability to escape.
CaptainTwig gets his beads forced out. Those will be on cooldown for about 85 seconds. The rest of the Titans still hanging around, and the ultimates are starting to come back up. Everybody on the blue team has their 4th ability available. FNATIC as well, so it's an all-on fight should one go ahead and launch. Titan, they blow everything to really prevent what they thought, I would assume, FNATIC was going for the fire giant.
It was
right?
it was either they were going for the fire giant or they were going to lazy back. Well, not necessarily lazy back, but they knew they were going to go to the speed and blue, which were up. So they were trying to catch people on the way back to base potentially. Yeah. They can find a pick or two. They could then pressure the fire giant 4v3, 3v5, you know, something like that, and look for the extra pressure. Problem was they didn't find it, and now they're in an awkward spot where they need to defend fire giant as well as fire minions pouring down mid.
Right, but so basically the point that I was trying to illustrate was that that would have been a problem for them. That decision to go that aggressive, because that's a very aggressive move to defend in that sense, if you understand my train of thought.
I agree.
To go that aggressive would have been an issue if FNATIC turns around and goes for the objective. But so much time has passed, the Titan gets their ultimates back up.
Yeah.
They lose absolutely nothing for that exchange.
Which is fine, but FNATIC's not going to be upset by this either. I mean, they're winning the game outright anyway. They've taken all the towers down. There's 2 Phoenixes left. They don't necessarily have to go for the Fire Giant here. If they catch Titan all over the Fire Giant, well, they can just push down left as a whole team here and force a fight at a Phoenix, which wouldn't be a bad situation either.
The lead is over 10,000. So, I mean, FNATIC definitely have the way of just raw power. BroTuZ here, not by himself. Strong taunt on to CaptainTwig. Chases out his beads again. I feel like I just said this, but CaptainTwig's beads will be on cooldown for about 85 seconds.
Did Kanye use taunt then? I don't think he
Yes.
did. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if he did use the taunt. I just thought I saw beads come up from Twig preemptively expecting it. And got it for free, but as expected, FNATIC going to start the Fire Giant off here. Repi's going to have to go up soon. They probably know what's going on.
There it is.
And we'll see if they pull off it. That's the
Fire
question.
Giant
They have
down
pulled
to
off.
50%. Pulls off. Repikas looking. Repikas looking. Repikas landing on top of CaptainTwig. Captain down to 25% HP. Now the rest of FNATIC start looking at the jungler. Ultimate out of maniaKK will silence 2 people. And Repikas finds himself safely in a corner for the moment. One more shot, but can't find it. Reels off the mark. Returns to the fight in the middle. Badgah very low. Ultimate Ataraxia is going to send FNATIC packing. Nobody gets anything for that exchange.
Good fight from Titan to hold on. They don't lose anybody. And the big key is they force FNATIC to chase them into the jungle, into the narrow corridors. That allowed the ricochets, the suns, the Zeus lightning to really do damage to the front line of FNATIC and the back line, which meant they couldn't continue the pressure. In the end, Titan hold, which is good because it gives them more time for this Phoenix to respawn in mid.
Unfortunately, Reels could not find that hit on a Repikas. That fight might have gotten drastically different if Repi falls. There's not a Thor. It's a 5-on-4. Much different everything as far as that. But can't find the last snipe, allows Repikas to live just another more second.
Repi's very good at predicting where the snipes will come from as well. So his juke paths are very, not necessarily, I want to say unconventional, but he strategizes them so well to make sure that it's very hard to predict where he's going to be. He's got to be careful here, though.
CaptainTwig jumps the wrong way. Not going to go into that one.
Not when he hit it.
Zeus shows up to zone.
Target.
Players just looking for the next opportunity. FNATIC really in the lead right here. Titan, this is their last opportunity to ascend the standings.
This is working out well for Titan because at the moment, if they fight in the jungle in the narrow corridors and make it work for them, they can be strong. But Repi's a little bit caught out here, and I don't think he's going to be able to get out without at least forcing beads, which happens.
Beads come out of Repikas.
This should be a 5-gen start immediately from FNATIC here. They want to bait the boys of Titan back in, knowing Repi's had to go back to base there, or come in with very low HP.
And the Fire Giant already fallen. Look how fast FNATIC is able to deal this damage. Fire Giant was started about 5 seconds ago.
zoning.
Fire Giant is dead.
Zoned from
maniaKK able to push up from the front. Here he comes. Good wall out of Repikas, but FNATIC, they're going to go aggressive. Fear no evil. Fear my monkey. Repikas makes his way out, but the objective is fine. The tower being aggressed on by 1 member. The rest of the lane being aggressed on by 4 members. FNATIC pushing the gas. Tower falls down on the right-hand side, and the team makes their way into the mid lane.
Immediate rotation to mid for the fact that it's a weakened Phoenix. Clay minion to be able to tank this one up for them. Titan have a chance to try and engage here with a good taunt, but Beads is going to force them back one more time. This Phoenix should fall relatively soon.
maniaKK tanking out. Repikas goes on the side so the opponent can't hear him. He's in the air. He's on the ground. He falls down, stuns out maniaKK. maniaKK pushed out on the right due to Ataraxia's ultimate as well. Knockup is strong. Strong enough for Reels to get the kill on a Kanye. Set up by the support. Badgah doing everything he can, and the team of FNATIC going to push Titan into their base. Mid lane Phoenix goes ahead and falls, and FNATIC head to the right side, looking directly at the Phoenix.
No ultimates available other than Athena's for Titan now as FNATIC look to see a jump. maniaKK on the front side again, going to zone out
Double
with the
silence.
Twig comes in with a Fear No Evil on the back of that one, and that allows Zyrhoes to take down BroTuZ. FNATIC look like they should be able to 2-0 here against Titan.
Left-hand Phoenix now the subject of FNATIC's ire. 2 members down on Titan. Not going to be able to defend this one. 3v4. Reels takes
that was nice.
Death out of Ataraxia.
Big ricochet and wall combo that came out there supported them, but I don't think it's going to detract FNATIC from having the advantage of this game as the third
in
Phoenix
the sky.
falls.
Repi looking for low. Twig's in the back. Will he fall on Twig? No, he falls right on top of maniaKK. Zyrhoes comes out of the sky and takes out PrettyPriMe. Realzx is still dead, but 2 members on Titan have fallen. So FNATIC, they're going to retreat. They want their Hunter for the all push in when it comes to the base, but FNATIC still lead by an incredible amount. Let's take a look at the graphs after that siege. 16,500 gold on the side of the boys of FNATIC, 16,000 experience as well. So Titan significantly trailing in the late minutes of this game.
Very similar situation to game 1. And Titan, well, they run the same composition, first of all, and the composition worked beautifully in the early game in game 1. In game 2, they didn't get off to the flying start that they did the first time round. FNATIC tightened up their lines of defense where they were making the mistakes. Meanwhile, though, what they did was they adjusted to the Bacchus ban correctly by looking for something else to pick up. The Chaac pickup is the big key here. Some Wukong's making an impact. Badgah's playing it right with going for the knockups with the Oxform to keep them disrupted. But Chaac with a silence has made an impact in making sure BroTuZ didn't really have a chance to make Zeus work as well as he did last time.
I mean, you say that, but if we look at player damage, Zeus is #1 on top. Well, after that last exchange, let's take a look at player damage real quick. Right before that last fight, Zeus was on top. Zyrhoes sneaks ahead with the last fight with the help of Fire Giant.
Maybe highest on player damage or close to the top, but look at that. What's his influence in KDA? He's had 1 kill, 0 assists. Yes, he's doing damage, but no, it's not making anything different for the side of Titan.
And that to me speaks for the rest of the team. I think Zeus is working out fine. It's the rest of the team unable to really seal the deal. You can't expect one character to go ahead and do it all.
No, but if you put out a lot of damage, fine. But what kind of damage is it? Is it useful damage? Clearly, it's not because it's not finding you anything.
It has been. We just haven't seen the end cap to really confirm the kills, which is the large part that we're seeing out of Titan. The rest of the members are just being forced out of these fights by FNATIC. Unfortunately, unable to really seal the deal and make the Zeus pick really a part of the team.
And they did a good job. To be fair, they did a good job, FNATIC, as well, of keeping Janus pinned down too. Janus hasn't really made an impact this game. Prime, we even saw from the Alpha Draft standings that he was in the top 5 from last game. This game, though, different story. Didn't get himself off. Not been involved in much. Had a rough time. Whole team
Shield able to zone out the enemy for just a moment. Here comes CaptainTwig directly into the base. There's the ultimate Chaos Titan, 75%. Chaos Titan, 50%. Repikas has already come down from the sky, gotten a stun out. Here's the rest. No more ultimates on the board for any team except for KanyeLife, and it's all used up. FNATIC takes the second game. No standings change for Titan. FNATIC wind up ending their season with a 2-0 victory.
Good work from them. 21-7 is their slash line after the season. So only 7 losses out of all those games. It's not the worst case scenario. 28 games and you only lose 7. It's pretty good. They've still got things to work on though, but their compositions look very strong today. They execute their game plan perfectly, and they also came down from a deficit in the early.
I absolutely loved what we saw out of CaptainTwig, and as we said, this is our final day of the 2015 SPL season, so that's going to lock in a lot of these teams. Titan now sit proudly at the 5th spot. Team Dignitas and Mirman still have to fight over number 6.
You say proudly for Titan. I don't think they'll be too happy because we're getting defeated by FNATIC there as well. That's going to put them on FNATIC's side.
But they're going to land.
But it's going to put them on FNATIC's side of the bracket too.
Sure.
And if you can't defeat FNATIC now, you're going to have to come up with some good game plans for the LAN. Last time we saw Titan at LAN, did struggle a little bit as well there, if you remember that one. Didn't get off to the flying start we've seen out of him in previous performances. Titan got a big uphill battle if they want to try and make worlds.
Everything is different at LAN, so pretty much everything thrown to the wind. This game, of course, started with a kill out of Realzx. Last time, Titan really got things going from minute 1, and it was up to Realz's team to really change things around. This time, it was Realzx and FNATIC from the get-go. Picking up that first blood by way of Rama, fantastic stuff, and that just set the course for the rest of the game.
That kill for me, that first blood was all down to Twig. It was very, very well played by him.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole team for FNATIC. FNATIC had a fantastic performance.
Now, one thing we said in game number 1 was that we usually see Badgah on the Guardians really make an impact by way of Bacchus and by way of some of the other aggressive Guardians. This time, we see something a little bit different from him, the Sun Wukong, and a spectacular performance out of him nets him player of the game. 3-0-7 on that Wukong, able to disrupt and really control a lot of what the enemy was trying to do.
It's a little bit different, but you know, he can still play these warriors, these aggressive supports as well. He's been around for long enough to know the meta switch and the guards changing. Good work on Sun Wukong. He did what he needed to for the most part. He realized that the knockups were the important thing for his team, the disruption, not necessarily the stun from Tiger. They could do that, but keeping them busy, keeping them all tagged down and up against it was where the work was coming from.
7 assists here, and it wasn't a large kill participation, but the kills that Badgah was a part of were just so important. And like I said, one of the things that I liked about this character pick for Badgah was that he was able to get the knockups to really control the opponent, and then still provide the damage out of the Jingu Bangs, the magic cudgels, to really bring down the hammer. So both sides of the coin being shown off by Badgah here in this game.
You can see he's just busy keeping them all away from the Gold Fury, CC them down, slow them up, and just keep them busy. It's good work from the boy, Badgah. He doesn't always get enough credit, neither do a lot of supports, to be fair. They don't get as much credit as they so much deserve for the amount of work and effort they put in.
And here, just Badgah continuously. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. He spends the entire time just zoning out, and then for the end of the fight, just winds up coming over the top and getting a kill for himself. Well, Badgah, congratulations on collecting Player of the Game right there. But right now on the line, we have Captain and Hunter Realzx. Congratulations on your victories and your fantastic fall split. How you doing, buddy?
Yo, I'm doing good, thank you, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well, man. You guys are headed. You guys are headed to Super Regionals in a very nice spot as far as the standings are concerned. How do you feel? Are you happy with your guys' performance as the fall split comes to a close?
Yeah, I didn't feel like we'd done as good as we could have done, but it worked out and we're in a good position. So yeah, we're all happy.
Yeah, getting that bye through to the second round. Now, you got a couple of weeks off now, Realzx, as well. What's the game plan for FNATIC? What do you guys do during the sort of this downtime between the Super Regionals and waiting, basically?
We just chill for a bit, you know. Like if anyone knows us, then people know that we like to just chill for a bit. So yeah, we're just gonna be chilling for a bit, and then back to scrims, boot camp before the Super Regionals, and then back on the grind.
Where are you guys going to be boot camping?
In Sweden.
Awesome. So that'll be exciting. Yeah. You guys will be able to hang out, and just so the fans at home know, boot camp. The FNATIC team will actually get together on a LAN environment before coming here. So that'll be fun and exciting. As we said, you have a bye to the second round. Who are you least excited to face off in the Super Regionals?
No one really. We're not least excited. Like we're excited for everyone. Anyone who is in our bracket, we don't mind playing. To be honest, it's going to be all fun, you know.
I was going to say, I mean, the two teams you're probably going to have to face off against because of the bracket is going to be Paradigm or Titan. Will be the ones that you'll be facing off against more than likely for the World Championship spot. Do you have a favourite? Which one you'd rather face for that spot if you had a choice?
Nah, don't really mind, to be honest. We're going to beat either of them, so it doesn't matter.
Good shout.
Fantastic confidence. Now, do you have was there a moment? We saw sort of a slow startup for you guys, and or for FNATIC as a team, and then as the season came to a close, you guys really just started snowballing and winning all these games. Was there a particular turning point that you can point to in the fall split that really turned your guys' split around?
I don't think so. It's hard to like pinpoint it really, you know.
Just more of a gradual process then?
Yeah, just more of a gradual thing, to be honest. There's nothing really that, like, you can say, oh, this changed, no, this is why we was winning or whatever. It's just, I don't know, that's just how it went kind of thing, you know? Just one of them things.
Exactly, and that's sometimes just how she goes. Anyway, congratulations on a fantastic fall split, and concluding in the best way possible with 2 wins. Now you've got a month before Super Regionals go, so we'll see you then. But until then, do you have anything you'd like to say to the fans at home, shout-outs or otherwise?
Shout outs to the sponsor, of course, FNATIC, for supporting us, great sponsor. Shout out to all the fans, all the people supporting us. Shout outs to my team for playing good. Shout outs to Badgah for missing auto attacks in the first game. And yeah, that's it. Just keep supporting us and see you guys at Worlds.
Awesome. Fantastic. Love the confidence. Once again, that's Captain and Hunter player for FNATIC, Realzx on the line. Such a confident guy and always well-spoken.
Always well-spoken. He should be. He's English. That's what we all are. But the one big key as well to take away from that is we've never ever seen FNATIC, the team, have never ever not made a competitive tournament.
Yes, they're always
made
there.
Every single one. So if you're a betting man and you go to Alpha Draft and you put down some of the FNATIC members, you're probably going to get some points in Super Regionals.
I mean, we'll definitely take a look. Bear in mind that this team, not only do they always make it to competitive lands, but as you take a look at the top performers for right reason, this team also previously known colloquially as the Lanimals. So watch out. These guys should also turn up when it comes time to fight on land.
You
Fnatic
say that,
never
but
disappoint.
EU's got a lot of Lanimals right now. The one team that we can't class as Lanimals is Epsilon, but their record so far this season stands tall. But then you've got Titan, their Lanimals, FNATIC, their Lanimals, Paradigm. Well, they just won came second the last LAN that we had, so we've got a lot of top teams.
Well, to be Lanimals, you actually have to make it to land, and this next one is really going to determine that. Myrmidons versus Dignitas. One team goes, one team stays. We'll see in a little bit as to see that one and how it comes out. Stay tuned.